I'm recording, folks. Okay, so this meeting is designed to go over the data that you're going to need in order to complete your program review. And what Christine and I want to share with you is there are two places that you can look. Okay, the first place is on Inside South, okay, which you need to log in order to see. Okay, so I'm going to try sharing my screen so you can follow along. And again, if you want to open up another tab on your own computer and follow along that way, that might be helpful. At any point, if you have questions, just stop the train and ask the questions. Okay, don't wait for us to finish. Okay, so let me see if I can share the content, optimize. Okay.
Marianne,
Yes.
I am so confused right now. Okay, so as the program director for EDU, I am responsible for the PLOs that I'm working with Liz, correct?
Yes, and you can also work
That
with Christine and me, and we do that
okay,
every semester.
okay, that's called the program assessments, correct?
Right. The program review is every 3 years, right? So since we're now in 2026 and the last one was in 2023, we're doing program review. That's more to assess the health of your program, to determine if you need more resources or support, but it's more of a broad brush view of the health of the program. Whereas program assessment, which is done every semester, is are your students meeting the program outcomes? Two different things.
Okay, but okay, so the program assessment comes from the objectives in the program that are written in the syllabus that we are evaluating and or collecting data on for the ones that we select, correct?
Actually, the program outcomes are in CCTA in the
Right.
curriculum and transfer website, and we created a matrix for you, like at the beginning of this process in
Right. Okay.
fall of 24. Yeah, those
Okay. And then
exactly.
the program review that we're talking about today is going to be that full on 3-year
Right,
overview summaries of everything. And that's what we're
right,
talking about.
right.
Okay.
And
I am
again,
so confused.
you shouldn't be now,
Okay.
right? You said it perfectly. That's exactly
Okay.
the difference. And just a note from the VPAA's office, if you can keep your program reviews to like 12 pages or less, that'd be very much appreciated.
Oh,
Okay, because some people submit like 40-page program reviews, and it's kind of an overwhelming amount of stuff.
okay.
Um, so what we're going to cover here is kind of what you need to put in there. Okay, we do have a program review template, okay, which is probably what you use to create your last program review. And it asks you for information about your program that deals with enrollment, with completion, and with success. Now, unfortunately, completion has two slightly different meanings, right? If we're talking about course completion, that means the student made it to the end of the semester without withdrawing, okay? If you're talking about program completion, it means the student achieved a credential in the program. Okay, so you kind of want to make that distinction clear, okay, when you're writing your program reviews. So let me show you the data that we have. I don't know if anybody needs us to go over the template, because again, you've used it a couple of times, and it really hasn't changed much since last time. The major change to the template since you last used it is the section on DEI is now removed. Okay. And I think it was section 2H or whatever that had the demographic information in it. That is now removed from the program review. So you probably want to look at the template just to make sure you're not overdoing it, including stuff that isn't required anymore. I personally think the demographic information is useful, but again, given the times, we're not reporting on that anymore. Okay, so let me see if I can effectively share what I need to share with you. Okay. Can you guys see the screen if I go here? Can you see SMCC Data Center?
Yes.
Okay. So the way you get here is you go to employees on Inside South. You have to log in, right? And then you have to search for data dashboards. Okay. So if you want, I can back up and do that so you can see the process. Okay, here's Inside South, right? It's not a quick link. So I have to use this little magnifying glass, and I'm going to type data dashboards in the search box and then hit the magnifying glass again. It gives me a whole bunch of stuff, but you want to click on SMCC Data Center. Everybody okay with that sequence of steps? Now, when I click on it, we used to have little icons for the dashboards, but somehow or other, it looks like the images have not been put up there, but the names of the dashboards are available and their links. Okay, the most useful one is going to be student performance. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, and you can see the way it comes up. There are a bunch of search boxes. These are filters here on the right. Okay, and I can either choose fall, spring, or summer as a semester. Okay, and what you're seeing now is reflecting the entire college's enrollment. And it'll show you the last 5 years. So you can see our enrollment in 2025. This is all enrolled students, right? Going back 5 years. So you can see we're kind of recovering from the pandemic lows. Okay. Now, completion rates, since this is in terms of courses, okay, these are students who have successfully gotten to the end of a course. Okay. And these are students who were successful. And enrollment is in the success rates are in terms of enrollment, percentage of enrollment. So these numbers in this table will always be less than these, right? Because in between here, you've got the students who withdrew who are not successful completers. Okay. So this is everybody. So on average, across all of our courses, 79% of our students complete their courses with C or better. Now, what you can do over here is you can filter, okay? And there's a whole bunch of filters. Now, down at the bottom is a program filter, okay? And unfortunately, I'm not really sure what's included in the programs, but you can see what you've got here is associate in arts in psychology, associate in arts elementary education, fine arts dance, fine arts music, and you can keep rolling on down. Here's behavioral health, okay, administration of justice, accounting, and it'll give you the associate's degree code as well as CCL codes, okay? So you can use those to select. Okay. Yeah. And again, part of the problem is, as Azra's pointing out, where's communications? I'm not seeing it. Okay. And my other question would be, if I picked her program, her COM program, that means, are those just the students who are matriculated in the pathway for associate in arts, emphasis in communication? Everybody takes a COM class, right? So what you might want to do in that situation, I'm in the same boat because I have a gen ed, like math. Everybody takes math. I'd be out of a job if they didn't make them take math.
Right.
Okay. So what I can do for Azra is I can go over here to course subject and I can unclick all, and then I can go down and click just COM or any of your courses, something else besides COM. Okay. Now I have all of the COM data up on the screen. Okay.
Oh, this is what I needed earlier. What the
There
heck?
you go. Okay. And
Hey, Mary Ann,
yes,
okay, so I've seen this dashboard before, and I've used this dashboard before. However, I am putting in the search thing on my it's Inside South. It's taking me to that. What
It's
were the
not
words that you used? It's
okay.
taking me to criterions. Criteria.
Again, you got to look down a little in the search list. Rose, let me go back. See if I can back up. No, here's the dashboards. Let me back up from there. Okay. See Administrative Services Council. Do you want the second one that says
Okay,
this?
so I put the South SMCC Data Center. I did.
No. Here, I just put in data dashboards.
I did that.
Can you share your screen with me? I'll stop sharing and you show me what you're seeing, okay?
I'm on my iPad and I'm on my desktop, so it's not going to share.
Okay, got it.
But I am doing the little
Magnifying glass.
magnifying glass. I put in data dashboards, but it's taken me to criterions.
That's what happened to me.
Are you sure you're logged in?
Yeah, I've been logged in. I'm working in my Canvas and my Google Mail, so I am logged
That
in.
happened to me last week.
It did.
And so,
Okay, so if I click on data dashboards, this is the page that comes up and you're seeing
Yeah.
something else.
I'm seeing
Maybe Ozra can show me what happens.
It takes you to criterion. It's
Yeah.
like interesting.
That's where I'm at right now is the criteria.
But I was going to share with you.
So that's an iPhone, right?
Yeah, this is an iPhone.
Okay. Because if we're having difficulty technically, because it doesn't play nice with Apple products, we got to let the IT people know this. We can't be limping around looking for data. That's just not good.
Let me see if I can pull you up. Let me see if I can pull you up on my laptop and then I'll show you.
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. So you can share with me. Okay.
I'm gonna log in with a different ID though.
Okay.
Let me see. In the WebEx.
Yeah. Isn't this great? Yeah. It's so different on mobile. So then you have to basically.
Hey, Marianne.
Yes.
I just, without logging in on the website, I put in data dashboards and it took me to Criterion. Then I logged in
Yeah.
and it took me to the right place. So
Yeah,
even if you're logged in Canvas, you have to log in on the website.
You got to log in Inside South or
That's
you're
right.
you're not going to be shown the data.
No, you're not.
No. Yeah.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Even if you're logged in at Canvas or whatever else, you got to log in on the website.
Let me try that and I'll share that with you. Okay.
Yeah,
Let me try to
that.
break it that way. Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So I'm sharing again. Okay. Where did it go? Here. I'm sharing. Where's my shared screen? I want to go here. Okay. So can everybody see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to log out of Inside South. Okay.
Yep.
Notice this says log in up here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But now I'm going to not log in and I'm going to try to search for data dashboards. Yep. And here are the criteria.
Right.
Okay. It's because you haven't authenticated with the web server that you have a right to see our internal data. Okay. So click on the login box up at the top, log in with your Maricopa account. Okay. It should say log out. Notice the blue button that said log in now says log out. That says you're logged in to Inside South. Now, if I search for data dashboards, I should go to the right place, which I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Little step. Okay.
A little step, but significant.
Very.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Liz. Okay. So we were in the student performance table dashboard, I guess. And again, I don't really know when you click on program what you're getting. Like, for example, if I click Associate in Arts Psychology, okay, that's a lot of people. And I kind of think that's showing me everybody who took a psych class. Because I know everybody takes a psych class, right? Even me, the math major, I took multiple psych classes.
Good for you.
Right. So basically, you're seeing everybody, not just the people who were in that pathway. Okay. And I think that's probably okay. But if you're not in this program list, okay, then you're going to have to search by your course prefixes. Okay.
Could I ask why it wouldn't be there though? Like, I'm just curious.
Okay. That's a good question. I asked, do you remember Belinda Miguel? She was
Yeah.
acting dean of IR, like, prior to the pandemic, I think. And I asked her the same question, and she kind of told me it was lost to history, and she really wasn't sure why it was that way. Now I know it's still this way, and my question is, I want to know what's included when I search Associate in Arts, emphasis in psychology, because I think it's everybody who takes a psych class. I think it's only pulling enrollment in the psych prefix. That's what I think it's doing. We can figure out, I'll click all programs, and then I'll try to do it by subject, right? So let's go here. And I'm pretty sure psych only has the PSY prefix. Let's see if I get the same thing. No, I get a lot fewer. Okay.
Interesting.
So if you want to just know what you're pulling data for, pull by your prefixes.
That's right.
I don't know what you're getting in that program thing. Okay. And until we can have Crystal Thieker look at these dashboards and figure out what is happening with program, I've asked this question a number of times of our previous IR staff, and I haven't had the opportunity to ask Crystal. So I'll give that another try. Okay. Just realize for some of these, you're going to have multiple prefixes. Let's look at math.
That's
Okay.
right.
So now you're seeing all of the math classes. I can tell you without a doubt, there's probably nobody registered in the Associate of Science emphasis in mathematics pathway. I think I've met 3 people in the last 12 years.
I have one in my class.
There you go. Congratulations. You should introduce them to me.
His name is Patrick. He's a Vietnamese boy.
Oh, okay. I might know Patrick from before. But anyway, this is what I would recommend. I would recommend you pull by your prefix. That way you'll get pretty much required courses in your prefix. I know with math, it's a little different because let me show you with math. Okay, I'm pulling the math prefix. Then I can go down and actually filter by course. Okay. So I could go down to the course list and filter on only the math courses that are part of the math program, right? Which don't include the 100 level courses, right? So if I only was interested in the 200 level courses, I could do this, right? And I'm skipping 256 and 257 because they're special math courses. So these are the courses that are part of the official math program as far as CCTA is concerned. So you can use a combination of prefix and course to filter. Okay, I just would not filter by program because I'm not sure what that data contains. Anybody have any questions or observations about that?
Marianne, all I'll say is that I mean, I did this last 3 years ago, but I've never done anything but go in by prefix. And then I have to use other prefixes too and course numbers because we cross lists and it can get kind of complicated.
I really wish there was a better way to do this.
But there is a way. I've never done it without, the last time I did it, Belinda had to walk me through it because it was so particular how to get exactly what I was looking for.
There was, you might have remembered a gentleman named Otis McDaniel who was here right before Belinda left. And
I don't think I ever met him, but
he was building program review specific dashboards. And I asked Crystal, could we have those updated? And again, it's just a matter of getting the time for the three of us, me, Christine, and Crystal, to sit down and actually go through this data and say, here's what we need. Okay. But again, here's where the bulk of your data is going to come from. And what you can do is you can open up the snipping tool if you have a PC. Okay. And I think there's a way to do this on Apple. Okay. I'm opening up the snipping tool, and then I'm just going to basically snip the table I'm interested in like that. So just take it and copy it and paste it right into the document. Don't go to the trouble of building a table and copying numbers. That's too tedious.
Where did you find the snipping tools again?
Okay. Basically what I did is I went down here.
Are you on an Apple though?
If you're on an Apple, it's different.
No, I'm just watching you in my iPad right now. I got it.
Okay. Down over here on the lower left over here is where all of my apps are on a PC. And I just typed snip and it comes up right here. I click on it. And then when I want to activate it, I click on new. It grays out everything. And then you just draw a box around what you want to snip. Once it's here, okay, it's kind of like in a holding space, right? And then I can copy it. See the copy up here? So I can copy it and paste it in a document.
Or you can save it too.
You can save it if you want to make a file out of it. I think it's like an image file.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Marianne, I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you would know this. The VPAA has been telling me there's 115 students enrolled in the AAEE. I don't see those numbers on the dashboard when I weed it out to the EDU program.
What's AAEE? Is that the high school?
No, that's Associates of Arts in Elementary Ed.
Okay, let's take a look.
He keeps telling me there's 115 students enrolled.
Let's see.
My number is not even close to that according to this dashboard.
Okay, let's take a look. Let's see if you're in the dashboard first of all.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Yeah.
Elementary Ed, Rose, is that
Correct.
it or just this
Correct.
one? 8101.
80, let me look. I'm on it right now, and it's the 8101.
Yeah, it's still mathy. Okay. Associate in Arts, Elementary Education. I don't have any other filter set other than fall. Look at these numbers, Rose.
But okay,
I know. That's makes no sense to me.
No.
I even went down to course subject. I put down EDU.
Okay. Let me undo this first.
Actually, leave it. Let's just see.
Yeah, I have them both on.
You have both on. Okay.
And the EDU course subject.
Like that. Just like that. Yeah.
EDU. Okay, so if we're getting such different numbers, then what do I rely on to use?
I would say stick with your course numbers. Do these look more normal? This would be fall of 25.
Right. Where is she getting the 115?
She's using some other dashboard, and you need to know what she's filtering on. Like I said, I wouldn't use the program filters here, because for all you know, those thousands of students they said were in EDU, you could be picking up something like FYE, because that's part of your program, and everybody takes FYE. See, right. I don't know how that data is done. So I would only filter. Do you have any other prefixes besides EDU, Rose?
No.
Okay. So this is only EDU classes.
That's why I did the subject or subject as EDU, and the program of AAEE. And I'm looking at the same dashboard you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
So when she quote unquote yells at me about enrollment, I'm not getting the 115. I'm seeing, yeah. So I'm just wondering where that data is at, because she keeps throwing that at me every semester.
Well, I know there are district dashboards, but again,
But this is South Mountains program.
this is South Mountains data. The other thing I wanted to show you, because again, if it was hard for me to find, I'm sure the rest of you had a heck of a hard time finding it. Okay, but before I do that, does anybody have questions about enrollment completion success if we search by course or prefix? Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get out of this dashboard and let me go to another one. Let me go here. Backing out is not fun. Okay, let me go to faculty staffing. That's the other dashboard you're going to need for program review. Okay, and this is like your 60-40 ratio. Okay, so this is everybody, the whole world. Okay, so this is, if I mouse over it, you can see the yellow part of the bar is the adjunct percentage. The blue part of the bar is residential. And 4.8, it says other. I'm kind of thinking those might be dual enrollment instructors because they're neither
right.
adjunct, or residential. And you can do it by load ratio, faculty, there's a bunch of things you can search on. Okay. And again, let me pick math just as a guinea pig. So you can see, I'll pick math. Give it time to reload. Okay. So again, you can see our 60-40 ratio. And again, it's got residential adjunct going forward. Okay. I think this might be for the whole college. It didn't look like it changed.
I have another question, Marianne.
Yeah.
Could you scroll to the top? There's other, okay, so scroll to the top of this one.
I'm at the top.
Okay, so, it doesn't show on this one. On the enrollment that we just left, they had different views. Doesn't matter what table we use, the format.
Let me go back there. Student performance. Basically, I don't know that it matters very much which one of these you use. Just realize that you're filtering by semester. So this is fall. You've got to also include spring data.
Yeah, go ahead and click on a different snapshot DB. It actually looks,
yes,
as research better.
I know what you mean. So if I want to know actually total enrollment in a particular course, for example, I would have to tap the third one, course DB. Yeah, that tells me more about numbers.
Okay, so let's
rather
try
than percentages.
Let's try course subject. Can I go back to you, Rose, with EDU?
There's not much numbers there, but absolutely.
But that's my situation in ESL.
Here's where she got the 110, Rose.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, see? Here we have it.
But look at your no, look at your other stuff. Wait.
The other table.
You have a course subject EDU, and so am I.
Okay. Look at real quick too. I'm curious. While we're in here, just real quick.
All right. But let me go back and show Rose. Okay. So hopefully it'll stay filtered by.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Did it stay filtered?
Yeah,
okay.
EDU.
No, when I did mine, though, it's still at the 18.
Okay. Now, my difference is I unselected your program.
Unselected. So
this is just with EDU, but no program selected. See, Rose?
Mm-hmm.
When I selected the AA emphasis in early education, I got smaller numbers because those students were probably enrolled in that pathway only.
So did you just select all programs and the program?
Yes, select all programs.
And
see it at the top? And then I put EDU here. Yeah.
Mine came up different numbers.
Okay.
Mine came up, yeah.
Is it bigger or smaller than what you're seeing on my screen?
Fall of 25 says 72 on my end.
All right, let me go back to fall. Yeah, now I'm fall. I was showing spring.
Okay, there's fall. There's the numbers.
Okay,
All
did
right.
I match you now?
Yeah. So what would determine what I used for
I
program?
would say do not select anything out of program. Don't use the program filter, just the prefix.
Just use prefix. Okay.
Just use prefix till Christine and I can sit with Crystal and figure out what are you getting when you select a program. We don't know, so I wouldn't trust the data. I don't know what it is.
So
Okay.
prefix meaning just edu, not program.
EDU for course subject, just EDU, you know?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You can even filter by 100 level, 200 level if you're interested in that. For most disciplines, I don't know that matters. That would probably matter to me in math to know how the 200 level students and the 100 level students are performing. To be honest, there was some interesting demographic differences between 100 level math and 200 level math. You know, but again, we're not allowed to report on that anymore. Yeah.
Marianne, this one that's in front of me right now, the 72 that's the one I would use.
I would use that one.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's switch to COM so Azra can see hers and we'll see a different set of numbers. So this is fall.
This is fall 25?
You got the last 5 years.
Oh, 5 years. Okay.
So
look at that.
Boom. Yeah. And these are stable. Okay. And if we switch to spring, the spring numbers are always.
So I would snapshot all of snapshots, you know.
What I would do is I do them one at a time.
Okay.
Because the sections in the template are specific to enrollment, completion, success. Okay.
And
so
this is the template for the
program review.
Portion.
Okay. So do enrollment separate from completion and separate from success. And remember, 2 SNPs per section, one's fall, one's spring.
So 2 SNPs for fall.
We need to report fall and spring.
Yeah.
Of the same year or different academic?
Just this is the last 5 years.
Okay.
So you have 1 SNP for spring, 1 SNP for fall. And don't be upset if your spring numbers are, less or worse, because that's pretty common. Students don't persist. Usually that's why.
Okay, Marianne.
Yeah.
So the template that we've been using and the one that's been posted, that leads us into what we need to do. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to summarize the previous program review and what you did as a result of what you learned. That goes there. And then here's your enrollment. Here's an example. Okay. With enrollment data for fall and enrollment data for spring that's been snipped and popped in.
Okay.
Can you see it, Rose?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, good. And then here's completion. And then here's success. Okay. And underneath the SNPs, you want to talk about any trends you see, because you're in the best position to explain. Like if you see a huge boost in people in COM, like, okay, what happened? Why did another 150 people take COM? Okay. Basically, if you're seeing a tail off, like we are with some of the math classes, we want to know, okay, what's happening? What's making that happen?
Can we make general statements out of our own perspective, or is this?
You can make general statements as long as it's supported by your data. Okay. Anybody who's looking at this is going to want to see an explanation for trends. Like, for example, take a look at this completion trend. Okay. If I'm looking at spring 2020, do you notice how completion went off a cliff? Well, we all know why that happened, because we shut the college down for the pandemic, right? And so I would basically have to say that there. Now we're 5 years out from 2021. So hopefully what we're seeing is a gradual recovery rate. And if not, those are the things we probably want to try to explain. And it's not always easy to explain these things. Okay.
Right.
Like I know with math and physics and engineering, they're all kind of tied up together in like a little ball. And if one coughs, the other one catches cold. So that's kind of the thing you want to talk about. You may need to talk to some of your colleagues to try to get an idea of what's happening.
Well, I'm just saying because what I know and of the trend in teacher certification as a whole, Arizona is declining. And that's what's in the news, and that's what's, data says from the Department of Ed is there's teaching positions going unfilled because of issues in the classroom. So there's nothing to do with hours, but that's when kids read and see and they don't want to teach. So how do I put that in an explanation when my numbers are going down?
You can basically say teaching is
That's
hard. Teaching is hard. And we have to find a way to motivate and market it as a profession that we want to sustain. I mean, let's face it, teaching is crucial. If we don't have teachers going forward,
Right.
what happens to the younger generation?
Right.
It's crucial for them, but it's kind of like the pitch I make in my classroom. Like, yes, math is hard, but your ability to logically reason isn't just a math skill, it's a life skill. And so are I'm sure a lot of the skills that get taught in teaching courses for teachers, they're life skills, right?
And I need to include all of those kind of perspectives into that
Right.
narrative.
You can even include data, like general data from, have you ever used data from Bureau of Labor Statistics that might have?
I'm just using the Department of Ed.
Okay, Department of Ed. You might need a third source, besides South Mountain and the district.
Say that again. Data from where?
Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's one thing. I can think of more data sets that would tell you about demand for the field, but here's the thing, Rose. If demand's going down because students look at education as something that's hard to do, like I'm going to get burned out, that's no reason not to offer education majors.
Right.
Because it's something we have to sustain going forward. What happens to public schools if there are no teachers to teach in them? Right? So you have to kind of make a broader case than just, demographics, right?
Okay.
And I mean, comm skills are used everywhere. I was having the same discussion with Mario. We were coming up with all the things, the transferable skills from theater that are used in everyday life, right? From marketing, selling, just communicating with people, the empathy, the collegiality, the cooperation, all of those skills.
Time management.
Yeah. There's a technical side to theater that, Mario is well aware of, but maybe when we go see a play, we don't even know about it, so I'm concerned that if we keep going down this path, we're going to turn into just career and technical, and we need all this other stuff.
Right.
But I understand the idea of limited resources to go around, but we need a better solution than just, no, we're not going to offer it anymore. That would be a shame. That'd be a pity.
Right.
So we have to help brainstorm what the optimal solution would be. Right?
Okay.
That's where we are.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Okay, so another thing here is an awards table. You might notice that here. And these are people who graduate with like associate in arts, emphasis in elementary education, or associate in arts, emphasis in communication, associate in science or arts, emphasis in math. Okay, so let me go back to where I was and see what we have here. Okay, nothing on this page talks about awards. Okay, except Maricopa Trends SMCC 20-year trend program completion. Let's see what that has in it. Okay, so this is, again, all students. This is showing you all of our graduates out for 20 years. Okay, so you got to drag the slider to see where we are at the right side. Okay, so this is saying all of our students, we had 6,323 students earn a credential in 24-25 academic year. That includes CCLs, any kind of license, licensures, as well as the associates.
And the bachelor's probably too.
And the bachelor's too. Now you can filter this Trying to see where the filtering is. Select a demographic. You can talk about degrees and certificates conferred. Okay, and it breaks it down a little more. Okay, I'm not seeing any filters on any of these, so I don't know that you can break it down by program. This is just by credential, right? So if you take a look at our last year over here, okay, you can see, I'm trying to see, here's Bachelor of Science. Here are the BHS students. We had 42 of them in the last academic year. And you'll notice that yellow bar was really tiny the first year we offered it. And then that yellow bar is missing going backwards in time because that's when we started offering the bachelor's program. Okay, but if you mouse over it, it'll tell you what they are. It would be nice if we could break these down by subject. Okay. But I'm not seeing a filter. Usually when there's a filter on a row, it'll pop up with a little plus sign that'll let you click on it. Okay. Now, I just want to briefly.
Oh, no, that's something.
It's demographics. Yeah. So I just want to stop sharing this and then share my other screen. Okay. So let me go back to the meeting. Y'all there still? Thank you. Okay. I want to try to share my other screen. I put this link in the invitation to this meeting. Okay, there's a couple of links in there. There's a link to the program review template, the program review rubric, just in case you want to see it again. And then there are two data links. The first one is to the Inside South. Okay, and basically I should put in there login required. Let me do that while I think of it, since that was an issue. Okay. All right, and then the other thing is our Director of Institutional Effectiveness and Institutional Research, Crystal Thieker, sent out 2 emails over the past year. You can find them by searching in your email for SMCCIR. Okay, but what I did was I put a link to them in the invitation. Okay, and I can share that with you. Okay, I can pop it in the chat. It's a link to a copy of the email that I made. Let me go over here and pop the link. Okay, so here it goes in the chat. Okay, so this is a link to a Google Doc, and I'll share that with you briefly. Okay, share second screen. Okay, everybody seeing a document called SMCC Institutional Research? Okay, there were 2 emails. One was in August and one was in October. And again, there are a whole lot of dashboards Crystal linked to. Okay, so student outcomes, year-to-date retention rates, bachelor's degree student surveys, okay, weekly enrollment monitoring for fall of 25, 45th day. This is end of term credit performance. And here's an awards dashboard. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can click on Crystal's awards dashboard and open it. Control click. Okay, and of course it opened here. Can you see this dashboard? Are you able to see a dashboard that says 10-year academic trend? Everybody
Yes.
see that? Okay.
Yeah.
This is from one of the emails Crystal sent. Another thing Christine and I have to talk about with Crystal is how we can get the most useful dashboards incorporated to that Inside South page. Because it's not reasonable to be looking through your email for links to tables when everything should be on that data dashboards page. Okay. Now I'm sure a lot of it is under renovation. Let's put it that way, since we have a new IR department. Okay. But I know it makes it difficult for you to find things. Now, as far as this, maybe this I can filter. Okay, so here I have an academic year, count of awards. I can search by the award type. Let's search by AAs. Okay, and now I can search by the degree title. Okay, suppose I want to see everybody who got Associate in Arts, emphasis in comm.
That's
Okay,
what I just did today.
can everybody see this?
That's what I
Okay, I'm seeing people in 24, 25. We graduated 7 people, 8 people. So these are people who actually graduated with that as a major. This is what would go in your awards section of your program review. We'll find it. No, it's right. We'll find it, or I'll give you mine.
No.
Okay, everybody all right with this?
So wait, just pause for a moment.
Sure.
How does these numbers look for everybody? Look at that.
Okay, but guys, part of what
Looks
you have to
higher than
do.
mine.
Huh?
It looks higher than mine.
But listen, it's because I was offering a course that wasn't being taught to complete the degree pathway, and it's taken this long to develop. And so having a canceled class, from my subjective viewpoint, is going to then now decline this number.
Does everybody know what an MOU is?
Yeah, that's what we just
Well, you know, Ezra, that is exactly what you have to pound in your program review and everywhere else.
Pound it.
Okay.
Because that is, I mean, they want completion, but they don't want to do the things that allow us to get it.
Right.
And that's wrong.
Right.
And
This
and
is
it's
what yeah.
short-sighted, ignorant. I can add other adjectives, but
Right.
Yeah.
I have a question, Marianne.
Go ahead.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm already brain chaotic, washed out. I've kind of shut down because I've already got a lot of information good information that you're sending me. Could this be a part A, part B, so we can start working on the first section of this report to do it right? And then you offer another one to come back and we look at the second part of this, because this is good stuff. But right here, the one that you're showing us.
We
but
can
I've
certainly,
I already shut down after you taught me about the snipping tool. And I'm like, okay, I know I've done this report before. I know I've used all that information before, but to be honest, I'm already shut down, and I'm going to have to come back at a different time.
We can certainly do a part B if you want. But you know what I think would be even more effective is if we kind of did the road show, like Christine and I, if we came over and actually, when you're ready, like I have my program review, I have an hour's worth of free brain space, I want to pull this data. We'll come over and like sit at your elbow while you do it.
you know,
That way
the
you
other
got to
thing,
do it once.
you know, the other thing we can do in my division is I don't think it's helpful. I mean, I think it's helpful to get oriented in general, but then which is what you've done, and I appreciate the reminder. But I think what we need to do is then say, okay, today we are working on this question, and we need to go to this part of the data dashboard and grab this thing and set it aside. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to set up my assessment office hours was so that we could do that. And that we plug away at it week by week and like, we're only doing this today, right?
One
then
thing
we can
also,
do it.
some of the other divisions, namely MCL, CTL, they sometimes have like a program review, like lunch. Like they'll maybe either order pizza or people will bring their own, and they'll sit there, all of them together in one space, working on part of the program review, kind of like you said. And then if you want, we can come over, or one of us could, one of us can come over and just float around and be there when you have a question.
Or the IR people can come, right? I mean, or the IR people can, you know, if I know I'm going to be working on something, maybe I try to get them to tell me a couple days in advance how to do that part.
So Crystal's one person. Who's the other team?
There are several people. First of all, Matt Ashcraft is the Associate Vice President in charge of institutional research. And remember, they're split between Gateway and us. So they have a whole nother college to take care of. Crystal Thieker is the director of IR and IE split across 2 colleges. Okay. There are 4 analysts that I've met. 2 of them are specifically for Gateway, and 2 of them are brand new hires. They were hired in fall of 25, and they are specifically for South Mountain. One is Anusha, and I'm trying to remember. The other one is also a name with A. Do you remember who the second one is, Christine?
No, but I put Anusha's full name in the chat, and if you look her
Yeah.
up, she will be she is responsible for our campus because we are sharing people between Gateway and this
Right.
campus. So
Right.
Anusha got back to me just today because I was doing a kind of data request for ESL, and she was easy to communicate with and very quick to respond.
So I emailed Crystal
Thaker.
and she has a request intake form, kind of like we do with help desk ticket, some sort of ticket.
Okay.
And so she was on vacation, and I kind of put in my notes there that I needed it like pronto. Like it says, like, you know, how quickly do you need it? Is this not a hurry? Is
Yeah.
this like urgency? And I just said, well, I have a meeting on Tuesday. I really would like this information. So I got the dashboard. I didn't get, so this dashboard that Marianne was sharing, she literally just sent me the link, and then I went in there, and it was pretty intuitive. And I found this data that we just saw with the numbers. And so I used that to inform my meeting, which didn't do a whole lot, but
Again, consider you're looking at completers in your pathway, and you're seeing 7 people a year. That's not the only consideration. The only consideration is not how many people come out there, but COM is a required course for everybody.
yeah, I think
Right?
that part isn't
That part needs to be, what was the word you used, Liz? That needs to be explicit in your program review. Everybody takes a COM class, you know? And if you connect to any other program, you know, or you connect to anything in the community with your program, bring it up. Okay. Don't expect folks to just know what all the interconnections are.
That's right.
They don't, you know, like storytelling. You have a massive number of connections to the community, and you want to make sure everybody knows that. Think of your program review as almost like a marketing piece for your program.
Yeah, that's how they get to 40 pages, Marianne.
Yeah, well, again, you know, I understand, but basically, if you can, you know, make a sales pitch for, you know, why this program is viable.
That's been
and
my goal for every program review I have ever written.
Right.
Was
That's
a
the
sales
point.
pitch.
Right. And
Yeah.
you want to decide, you want to say, if you're struggling, what resources do you need? Okay. Think of it that way. I mean, don't think of it as a punitive operation. I hate when it's cast that way. That's not what it's supposed to be about. But
Well, it's yeah.
okay. There is, just so you know, there's this operation happening at the district level. There's an academic planning steering team that was chaired by Dr. Lisa Ray Armour, our previous provost, and it's now chaired by Dr. Kimberly Britt, our current acting provost. And the point of this is to try to make sense out of our program offerings. Part of what's happened in the past, and I don't necessarily mean it's happened with every program, but I can think of a couple, especially in math and science, where it's happened, where a program exists at maybe 2 or 3 colleges, and the folks at that college bring in funding and resources to develop the program. And then as soon as they see students start flowing into the program, the other 7 colleges decide they want to offer that program. So we wind up cannibalizing each other's enrollment. Okay. So part of what this operation is designed to do is to not necessarily shut programs down so much as to let's localize them, so we're not you know, Mesa and South are awfully close to each other, and Mesa is like 4 times our size. So if Mesa decides to offer something, we're kind of out of luck, right? Unless the students live here and can't get there, which is a consideration. Another consideration is what resources do we have here that are unique to South? Okay, so it's a holistic decision. It's not just based on the enrollment numbers. It shouldn't be. And Dr. Armour, anyway, said that she had no intention of making a decision just based on numbers, which is part of the reason, if you remember, she came around, she did the roadshow and went to all the colleges and had a question and answer session, wanted to know what we thought. Okay, and I'm hoping that Dr. Britt will take the same approach. Okay, so this is our opportunity to make our programs look the best they can be. Okay. Anybody have any? I want to be respectful of your time. We're kind of at 12. I don't want to run over unless you have some pressing questions, but we can definitely do a part 2 if that's what you want.
Workshop sounds good.
Thank you, Marianne.
Thank you all for being here. I really
Thank
appreciate it.
you,
All right, stopping the recording.
Mary.